Jojo Rabbit is a comedy drama film released in the year 2019. The plot of the film follows Jojo Betzler, a German junior cadet of the Hitler Youth who blindly believes in the ideals of Nazism instilled in him by his imaginary friend, Adolf Hitler himself. Things take a shocking turn for Jojo when he finds that his single mother is hiding a Jewish girl in their attic. Set in the fictional city of Falkenheim, the film starts with a 10-year-old boy, Jojo Betzler, who is about to join the ranks of the junior section of the Hitler Youth on a very special training weekend. He's seen giving himself a pep talk about devoting all his energies and strength to prove himself as a man in the eyes of the savior of his country, Hitler. At a very young age, Jojo is instilled with Nazi ideals by Adolf Hitler, his imaginary friend. Adolf boosts up his spirits, sending him to the training camp all motivated. Upon arriving at the camp, the junior cadets are welcomed by the head, Captain Klenzendorf, who lost his perfectly good eye in an enemy attack and got disqualified to fight in a war. He elaborates on the complexities the cadets are going to face in the upcoming days and informs them to keep their daggers that are issued to them at all times. He also strictly forbids them from stabbing each other, the first step towards being men. He then enlists the activities in which the boys will be involved, which include marching, bayonet drills, grenade throwing, trench digging, gas defense, firing guns, and whatnot. On the other hand, he enlists the activities for girls cadets, which include making beds and dressing wounds. Soon enough, the cadets start performing the activities with full zeal and fervor. At night, they're asked to destroy all their books by throwing them on fire. Before going to sleep, Jojo's best friend, Yorkie, asks him what he would do if he encountered a Jew. Jojo enthusiastically tells him that he would instantly kill the Jew in a blink of an eye, or catch him and hand it over to Hitler. The following morning, the junior cadets are asked to prove their strength. Seeing Jojo scared, a senior cadet tests him by asking him to kill a rabbit. However, Jojo finds himself unable to snap the innocent rabbit's neck. The senior cadets call him a coward, relating him to his father. Jojo defends his father by telling them that he is not a coward but a fighter who has been fighting in Italy, but it turns out that no one has heard from him in 2 years. The senior cadets try to mock Jojo and bully him, but he runs away, leading them to nickname him Jojo Rabbit. Dejected, Jojo sits in the middle of the forest alone. Adolf appears and motivates him not to pay heed to what people say about him. Just then, Yorkie arrives and is confused to see Jojo talking to himself. Furious, Jojo tells Yorkie that he will prove to the senior cadets who is a cowardly rabbit. He rushes to the training space and grabs a hand grenade from the captain's hand. In an attempt to throw the grenade, he ends up getting himself blown up. He is immediately rushed to the hospital and treated. His mother Rosie takes him home after the treatment. However, the incident leaves him scarred and crippled. When Rosie tries to encourage him that his scars will be healed, Jojo feels sad and angry that he will not be able to become Hitler's personal bodyguard. To cheer him up, Rosie decides to take him back to the captain. Upon arriving to the camp's office, she blames Klenzendorf, who has now been demoted and given office work, for Jojo's messed up face. She demands him to make Jojo feel included and give him a job until she's at work. Jojo is assigned to spread propaganda, collect scrap for the war effort, and deliver conscriptions. One day, Rosie and Jojo find multiple bodies hanging in the public square. They feel sickened by them and turn away. A few days later, while Jojo spreads the propaganda on the streets, the senior cadets spot him and start mocking him by calling him Jojo Rabbit. Depressed, Jojo returns home and looks for his mother. However, when he does not find her, he enters his late sister Inga's room. Out of nowhere, Jojo decides to make his way behind the walls of the bedroom only to discover Elsa, a teenage Jewish girl and his late sister Inga's former classmate. Terrified, he rushes out of the attic. However, when he sees Elsa advancing toward him, he loses his wits and carelessly runs away, rolling down the stairs. Considering Elsa a ghost, he attempts to run out of the house, but Elsa grabs him by his collar, pushes him against the wall, and threatens to kill him. When Jojo tries to reach for his dagger, Elsa flaunts it in front of him, revealing that she is a Jew whom his mother has kept in hiding. Jojo becomes aggressive and tells her that she can't stay at his house. However, when Elsa explains to him that if the revelation of her presence comes out to the public, it will cost the life of his mother as well. Jojo fumes with anger when Elsa takes possession of his dagger, but is compelled to stay quiet. He locks himself in a room, asking Adolf what he should do. Adolf expresses cluelessness, warning him that there might be more Jews living within the walls. Jojo presumes that Elsa must have used her mind control powers to manipulate his mother into inviting her in. He decides to negotiate with Elsa. Wearing armor made from household utensils, he approaches her in the attic, asking her to leave his house. Suddenly, Elsa appears from behind and kicks him out of the room. Adolf suggests Jojo use reverse psychology by making her feel safe until she drops her guard. This will let Jojo take control of her. When Rosie arrives home, Jojo hints at her by saying he heard Inga's ghost upstairs. Rosie did not take him seriously, brushing him off. After putting Jojo to bed, she goes into the attic, asking Elsa not to make her presence evident. She explains to her that Jojo must not know about her presence as he is a fanatic and would go to any limit to oust her from the house. The following morning, Jojo goes for his swimming class at the Water Warfare Training Center where he finds out from Klenzendorf's assistant Fräulein that he will not be able to go to train for another month due to his scarred face and limping problem. Upon meeting Captain Klenzendorf, Jojo takes the opportunity to ask him what he should do if he sees a Jew. Klenzendorf explains to him that he must inform him, and he will inform the authorities about who will kill the Jew. Moreover, he adds that if someone helps a Jew, he will also not be spared. Fräulein asks Jojo if he's seen a Jew, to which Jojo tells her that he's not really sure how to recognize someone who's a Jew. Klenzendorf seconds him, emphasizing that it's quite tricky to identify a Jew. This inspires Jojo to interact with Elsa and uncover her Jew secrets, so he can use the information against the Jews. He approaches her, keeping a condition that he will let her stay at his house only if she gives him information about the Jewish race. Elsa tells him that she's a human just like him. Jojo gets annoyed and tells her to think of this as an expose and reveal every minor detail. He decides to make a picture book titled Yuhu Jew, so he can expose the Jewish people, allowing the public to easily recognize Jews. When Elsa compares herself with him, the fanatic Jojo boils with anger, calling her weak and hostile. This infuriates her and she overpowers him, showing him her powers and warning him not to call her weak again. Later, Adolf asks him about his progress, and Jojo sadly tells him that the Jewish girl is not talking to him. During dinner time, Jojo is confused to see his mother smiling. When Rosie reveals that she is happy because World War II is cooling off, Jojo becomes furious and starts talking about how he will crush all his enemies. When Rosie tries to make conversation with him, he starts misbehaving with her, mentioning that he misses his father and wishing he was present. Rosie is affected by his words and dresses up like his father, pretending to be like him to make Jojo feel his presence. The next day, Jojo continues to interact with Elsa, asking her to draw a picture of the place where Jews live. While drawing, Elsa talks to him about her fiancé Nathan, who is fighting in the resistance. When Jojo mocks her boyfriend, she talks deeply about love, which touches Jojo effectively. Finally, she hands the drawing to him, which turns out to be Jojo's head, the place where Jews live. To crush Elsa's pride, Jojo decides to forge letters on the behalf of Nathan. He reads it to her, falsely claiming that Nathan cheated on her and is not fighting in the resistance. Elsa is heartbroken after hearing the letter and quietly goes back to the attic. Jojo feels remorseful and reads out the forged letter in which Nathan expressed his love for her. The following day, Rosie takes Jojo to a riverbank that used to be full of lovers. Jojo tells her that there's no time for romance as they are at war. Rosie explains to him that one day he will meet someone special, but Jojo thinks of it as a stupid idea. Rosie tries to change his thinking by telling him that there's more to life than war, and that he must celebrate life. Gradually, Jojo becomes fond of Elsa. Elsa voluntarily tells him stories of the Jews, and he excitedly notes them down in his journal. She feels sad for Jojo's beliefs regarding the Jews, but uses anti-Semitic myths to challenge his rigid beliefs. Adolf questions Jojo about his growing friendship with Elsa and diminishing patriotism. Jojo feels embarrassed and clarifies that he just wants to make sure that she's alive, as he does not want a dead person in his house. Adolf manipulates him not to let his German brain be bossed around. At night, Rosie spends some time with Elsa in the attic, unaware that her son knows about her. She talks to Elsa about her dead daughter and wishes she was alive. However, she feels satisfied to have the chance to see Elsa grow into a woman. When Elsa questions her about womanhood, Rosie describes the freedom that comes with it. Elsa is impressed by it and aspires to live a life full of freedom. The next day at the training office, Jojo tells Klenzendorf that he's writing a book about Jews. Klenzendorf and his associates make fun of him, thinking he is an obsessive child. Later, while collecting scrap for the war effort, Jojo finds his mother spreading anti-Nazi messages around town. It turns out that she's part of the German resistance to Nazism. He ignores it and unexpectedly runs into Yorkie, telling him that he's seen a Jew. When Yorkie does not take him seriously, he returns home and spends time with Elsa. Slowly, he starts falling in love with the kind-hearted Elsa. One afternoon, while Rosie is out, Captain Herman and his men from the Gestapo come to investigate the house after hearing rumors that Rosie is anti-Nazi. Coincidentally, Klenzendorf also arrives at the same time. Herman inspects the house, and when he questions Jojo about his missing dagger, Elsa reveals herself with the dagger, claiming to be Jojo's sister Inga. When Herman asks her to show him her identity papers, Klenzendorf figures out that she's a Jew and helps her deceive Herman. After everyone leaves, Elsa feels scared that she will be killed once the Gestapo discovers that Inga has died. Jojo motivates her that everything will be fine and later answers Adolf's rising question about his loyalty to his country. Later, Jojo is shocked to find his mother hanged in the public square. Devastated, he hugs her and returns home to kill Elsa. Elsa stops him from stabbing her, and just then, Jojo falls to the ground, breaking in tears. Elsa comforts him and also reveals the truth to him that his father has been working against Hitler from abroad. Jojo feels sad that his mother couldn't confide in him to tell the truth. Elsa consoles him by telling him that Rosie didn't want to tell him anything that could put him in danger. Due to lack of money, Jojo starts eating leftover food from waste bins around the city. His beliefs in Nazism are shaken. Soon after Hitler's suicide, the Allies around the world start attacking Falkenheim. Due to the lack of enough soldiers, the junior cadets are also armed to battle. Jojo finds Yorkie fighting the battle and tells him that the Jewish girl he told him about is his girlfriend now. Just then, a bomb explodes next to them and they manage to run away. Seeing the mayhem and destruction around the city, Jojo loses all his hope and hides until it ends. The Allies end up overpowering the Nazis, and after the war, Jojo is taken captive by the Soviet soldiers. In the captivity, he finds Klenzendorf with him, who sympathizes with him for the loss of his mother. He instructs Jojo to look after Elsa and then tears off Jojo's Nazi coat, calling him a Jew so that the Soviet soldiers can spare him. Jojo then meets Yorkie, who makes him realize that his Jewish girlfriend will leave him alone now that she can be free. Afraid that he'll be left alone, Jojo rushes home and lies to Elsa, telling her that Germany won the war and she has to continue hiding. When he sees Elsa disheartened, he forges a letter from Nathan to make her feel better. However, Elsa reveals that Nathan died of tuberculosis a year ago. Shocked, Jojo confesses his love for her, and she tells him she loves him as her younger brother. He tells her that he has found a way to smuggle her abroad, asking her to pack her things. Adolf furiously berates Jojo for betraying his country, but Jojo finally kicks him out. When Elsa steps out of the house, she sees American soldiers and realizes that Germany lost the war. Angry at Jojo for lying to her, she slaps him in the face, but soon the two of them start dancing in freedom. This movie has a rating of 7.9 on IMDb. The budget of this movie was around $14 million, and at the box office, it earned $90.3 million. I hope you all liked this video. If yes, then make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel for more movie recaps.